What's up, everybody? Anthony here, Empire Music, empiremusic.com, phone number at the shop here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania, but who says that? Pittsburgh, PA, about 5 miles south of the city. 412-343-5299. Showing you another bass from one of our newest lines that we're carrying here, RKM basses. So I've previously done a video on their custom series. This is a video on and that was a 4-string. This is a 5-string in their DS series. So what's the difference, right? And I alluded to it in that previous video. I'll put a link to it here up above me somewhere if you're watching this on a platform that allows those cards to show. Sometimes I say that and then someone ends up watching it like on their phone, or even worse, like when I watch YouTube a lot on my TV, so like on my big screen, and someone will be like, I'm gonna put a card up here, and then it doesn't show up anywhere like that when you're watching on a big screen TV. So that was embarrassing, right? That didn't look good. But anyway, there's gonna be links somewhere to get to that other video. So DS series, custom series. Custom is as advertised there. It's custom. You can really do whatever you want with that stuff within a pretty heavy set of parameters that RKM is offering you. And if you have an idea, I think they're just kind of open to it, so we can always discuss. Gave you the phone number, I'll give it again, 412-343-5299, or just email me your ideas at anthony@empiremusic.com. We'll take care of you. Happy to start that conversation. But the DS series is still a handcrafted instrument. These are made out of Monterrey, Mexico, and it is just less options. So you're gonna get less fingerboard options, less pickup options, and that's one way of keeping the cost down. These still aren't cheap basses by any means. I mean, they're in the high 2s at the time of filming this. Now the cool thing right now is we have a few basses from their NAMM booth that whenever I had a chance to kind of hook up with the RKM guys, and I'll briefly tell that, briefer than last time, tell that story. But you just have, like I said, less options to pick from, but still amazing instruments in this DS series stuff. So some of the specs, we'll just get into that right now. Still a solid mahogany body like we saw on the custom series, which is cool. No seam, no extra glue joints in that, pretty cool. Badass bridge, that's awesome. High mass, like a lot of sustained, good tuning stability, easy to set up. Different pickups. So in the DS series, you're getting EMG pickups. And EMG pickups have their tone to them too. So you need to be kind of ready to sculpt with the EQ if it's a little bit bright for you. EMGs have a tendency to be a little on the bright side for me. Not a deterrent at all, it just is what it is. I purchased one of these DS series instruments with EMGs in it. So I dig them, there's nothing, they're good. Again, they're just a little bit brighter, so you want to tame it if you want that, if that makes sense. And then it has the EMG tube, I can't remember the name of it right now, the BBP, either way, the 2-band EMG preamp in it. So control layout, master volume, pickup panning, bass, treble, boost and cut. So you have the detemp position, not like the Aguilar preamp in the custom series, which is boost only. This is more kind of, I think what people are used to is you get that detemp position and then you can cut or boost frequencies moving up or down on it, right? Medium neck on that. So what does that feel like to me over the width of a 5-string? It feels pretty much like a modern D to me at that point. Like a slim D is what this just feels like. I could be wrong with what they would technically call that, but I am interpreting this, and I've played a lot of basses at this point here. This is like a wide 5. I think it's inch and 3/4 at the nut, so not crazy wide for a 5, but it feels kind of like a D, kind of flat spine, comfortable. Chechen fretboard. Now that's something in the DS series, you're either gonna get maple or you're gonna get Chechen. That's it, that's your only 2 options, at least at the time of filming this. The custom series, you can jump into almost whatever you want or whatever's available with what Umberto and RKM has down there in Monterrey, Mexico. Chechen, nice wood. It really does sound, I feel, a lot like rosewood. It sounds more like rosewood than what Pal Ferro does to rosewood. I think it's a little closer on the Janka scale than what Pal Ferro is. Pal Ferro really sits in the middle of rosewood and maple, where this I think lends itself more to that slower transient up front and that warm kind of bloom out of the note. 12-inch radius, easy to play. Low B is great. So like when I think of a 5-string, like why not just play a 4 if it's not gonna have a good low B, right? I mean, honestly, if you're gonna buy a 5, make sure that low B is cool. And check this out. Got everything pretty wide open. I'll go actually flat on everything. Active onlys, keep that in mind. You don't have a passive option in this. Oh, and I forgot to call this out too. In the preamp, really cool thing, you can sculpt the high frequencies of that. There's 2 dip switches on that EMG, and I know with the one that I bought, I was able to kind of turn those on and off and find an EQ sweep that really suited me. So the way that this sounds now could be a little bit different in your hands if you get in there and mess around with those dip switches on it. It's a nice way to kind of tailor that in, and you could probably tame some of that top end. I know that's what I did. If you look on EMG's website, you can see the frequency curve, and I think it was in both on positions, it was actually cutting, it was boosting like a little bit below the real upper extremities of the tone, which just worked for me on it. So you can do that with the preamp in there. But check out this low B. It's really clean and precise, and it sounds tight. The 34 scale doesn't feel like, you get that loose, flabby kind of low B sometimes on the 34s. Man, they're doing a really good job of making that almost feel and sound like a 35 scale, like that. That's everything flat. We're not even boosting anything yet, right? So we're gonna stick there for a second. So that's middle position, which having a jazz, I didn't say the pickup styles, right? Music Man pickup, jazz bass pickup. So think of that, I think of that as more like jazz bass adjacent than I would P bass, right? So wide open, it's really in the jazz bass kind of territory. EQ flat. It's like jazz bass with a little extra gear in the mid-range when wide open. And I know what that was gonna give me because I just had shot the video on the custom series that had a P and a Music Man in it. And Music Man pickups are one pickup that me personally, I just don't have a ton of experience with. I until recently have never owned one with it, and the one that I own is one of those Joe Dart Sterling basses. That's not even a good representation, I feel like, of really what a Music Man wants to give you. We've had used ones come through, and I always dig them, but there's something that's a little bit of an unknown to me, so I always fight with them tonally because it's not because they're bad, just because I don't have a lot of experience with them technique-wise. So it's nice to kind of feel that and hear that with my hand. But I know now that it's giving me like a pumped up single coil sound to me. It's like, that's just how I'm interpreting it. It's like just personal opinion on there with my playing style. So again, wide open. Can't get over how good that B sounds, right? And we'll go back to just the bridge pickup. So just the Music Man pickup. Really gonna hear that mid-range kind of come into full bloom. Harmonics ring out nice. Interesting fact here too, or interesting, not fact, this is a note, this is not a fact. Interesting non-fact here, interesting opinion that I'm forming right now. Interesting how like the low B still sounds really good on that bridge pickup. From my experience, sometimes it can really lack on that bridge. So I think having that Music Man pickup in the back there, that more powerful magnet, is really helping that low B kind of pronounce. But the mid-range is like powerful and aggressive, you could probably tame a lot of that upper end character again with those dip switches in there on the EQ. I know they're not mid-range dips, but they're gonna change how that upper frequency kind of speaks, which I think could be really, really cool. And then front pickup. So we're gonna get into just, this is where it is jazz bass, but it's doing the front pickup jazz bass thing, which is like the thin P bass thing. Right? It really is. It's like that papery kind of P bass is how I think of this, especially without having a maple board on that. Now, where I think it's going to sound, it gets a little bit more interesting to me. Not that that sounded bad, but I really like this EMG 2-band preamp in there. I've been really into 2-band preamps. I guess it was having no experience with them, and now having one in my personal collection, it's just been nice. So let's boost up some bass. We're gonna go back to that wide open position, pickup wise, with boosted bass, treble at the detent position. I think this is where this bass is starting to like kind of come into its own now, right? It's really developing its voice. It's allowing me to, I'm dictating it's dictating to me how I should be attacking the bass, which I like that out of an instrument. Let me go back to that. I think that this bridge picker is going to be really nice here. Yeah, I love that. And then neck pickup. So again, that thinner P bass thing. Although with the introduction of kind of boosting that low end frequency, it's a little less of a thin P bass thing and more of just kind of a P bass thing. And every step of the way, this low B string is really crushing. It's very, very nice. So let's bring some treble up in it. Let's see how bright we can get it without, making it too aggressive. Maybe with a pick too might be kind of cool here. Yeah, we'll get some more of that hi-fi kind of thing. These pickups want to give that, and the preamp does too, I feel. Really dig it palm muted. I'd want to roll some treble off at that point if I was going open pick. I'm safe bringing that treble back into the mix. You get here, back to detent, boost that treble up. Now with that palm muted pick. Then to finger style, still wide open. That's really reminding me of the active thing there, I don't traditionally love that position on any bass. Kind of like that, but I'm still gonna probably cater either pickup, bridge position, boosted treble, boosted bass. Still want to take some treble off. Perfect. I really think getting in there and hitting those dip switches would fix that problem for me, where I just want that treble. I like it most here, right at detent position, which that's not that atypical for me. And then front pickup here, so we're back to the kind of the fake P thing. So very, very cool. So RKM DS series, this one's in baby blue metallic. This is part of our NAMM collection that we got at the show. And we had a chance to sit down with those guys at NAMM, was just so impressed with the basses. They kind of came up on my radar. I'm a big fan of Yannick Wisdala. I mentioned this in the previous video. And he's doing a signature series, like a double P with RKM. So that's where it kind of popped up on the map for me. So I made I beelined over to the amps. I'm thinking of Trickfish because we got those. Speaking of playing through a Trickfish amp now. Didn't say that in the last video. So I made a beeline over to the booth and got a chance to kind of rap with those guys. And as soon as I started playing this stuff, I was like, that's going to be cool. Let's bring some in. So part of our NAMM collection, these are from the show. Little discount on that too, because they were able to pass on a discount to us. We can pass that on to you. They were played a little bit at the show. If you've ever been to the NAMM show, you know the guitars get played pretty good. So there's definitely some play marks on it, but no substantial damage to the instruments. But that'll save you a couple $100 on these instruments. So whatever's in stock at the time of filming, there'll be links below if you're watching this on YouTube. Feel free to reach out with any questions though. 412-343-5299. Welcoming RKM basses into the lineup here at Empire Music. This is the DS Series 5-string Jazz Music Man. Check it out. Thanks.